friends, it's Unicorn Princess here, and I'm gonna have a bit of a rant. I'm gonna try and make a short rant. I don't want to go on for days and days about this, but it's been on my mind for a while and I feel like I really need to talk about it. So, social justice warriors. When I originally heard that term, I thought that sounded really cool, and I was like, oh, they're warriors for justice and social stuff. But then I became more and more familiar with what kind of people get called social justice warriors, and trying to be really careful with my words here because I don't want to be misunderstood. For starters, I am totally on the side of people that feel strongly about something, that want to fight for a just cause, who want to change some serious injustices in the world. I'm completely in support of all of those things, 100%. I am in that boat. I feel very strongly about a bunch of things, but that's not my point. Those are not the people that I'm talking about. People who feel strongly about something, who want to change something that's terrible and make something better or do things for the world, those are not the people I'm talking about. Those people are great people. What I'm talking about is the people who just have a bee in their bonnet and they just want to ruin your day. I'm not always very good at putting these things in words, but I'm going to link a few examples. So the one that I saw most recently was humongous. If you haven't seen this video, I'm going to link it somewhere so you can click on it and watch it because it's so ridiculous and it makes me so angry. For some reason, there's a thing going on and there's a guy there and a woman is already recording him and asks for his name and he says humongous. But he's obviously like a dad and it's obviously a dad joke and any regular person would go, okay. And that would be the end of it. But this woman loses her actual shit. She goes fucking nuts at him and she's screaming at him, and in front of all of these people she's calling him disgusting. She says that he sexually abused her and then screams, you just abused a woman, and there's all these people just reacting and it's ridiculous. Once he's out of the scene and the security guards are trying to calm her down, she then turns her attention to the security guard and starts asking for his name and going crazy at him. This woman clearly went in there with the intention of just ruining somebody's day for absolutely no reason. And she's doing it in the name of like women's rights, which is sickening to me because those are real things and real issues, and it's people like her that are just taking it completely out of context and parading around as if it's the same thing, and it's not. It's just like this big thing that keeps happening and it drives me bananas. There's another example I'll show you, which is the guy, I'm terrible with names, I remember the stories but not the names, the scientist who managed to land a probe on a moving comet, I think, and it was like the first time it had been done, it was a big deal, he was going to be interviewed, and to his news interview he wore like a Hawaiian style shirt which happened to have palm trees and bikini babes in it, okay? That's what Hawaiian style shirts look like. Before he could really be asked any questions about his accomplishments or anything that he's done, the interviewer woman is ripping into him and she refers to his shirt as having naked women in pornographic poses. Now I have two issues with that already. Firstly, they weren't naked, they were in bikinis, and if bikinis are naked now, then how am I ever going to go to the beach? And my second point is pornographic poses. Has she ever seen porn? Or any pornographic material? Literally anything can be a pornographic pose. The way that I'm sitting right now could be a pornographic pose. So her statements are completely ridiculous, but the fact is she shamed this man on TV for everyone to see, and then he gives a tearful apology later on for basically being some disgusting womanizer. And that's so wrong. Now obviously, I understand that feminism, which I am a huge supporter of, and which I am, first and second wave feminism changed the lives of women and for women forever. The right to vote, the right to get divorced, the understanding that when we say no, we mean no, and they need to listen to that. All of these things are massive and important, but what's happening now is none of those things. A lot of what's happening now, I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of what is happening now is people just hating on men. People who are hating on men and blaming men for everything, that's called misandry. It's man-hating, as opposed to misogyny, which is woman hating. Anyone that's trying to tell you that men are the cause of everyone's problems, that men are stupid, that men are dogs. Anything that says men are all blank or men are the cause of blank, that is not feminism. Feminism is about equality. Equal. That's what equality means. Every movement that has ever been done in feminism has been to bring women to the level of men, to bring women to the same rights, the same values, to be seen in the same light as men. And that's still an ongoing thing, and it's something that I believe in. But what I don't believe in is saying that men are the cause for everyone's problems, or that men need to pay attention to how they dress in case it offends a woman. I mean, God forbid we women go around telling men how they should and shouldn't dress because it will or won't offend us. I don't understand how anyone doesn't see how backwards that is. Like I said, I'm going to try not to rant too much about all of these things, but I have to mention this third thing, this third point that really bothers me. There seems to be this issue with sexiness. So some people will say that having a woman in a game, or a woman in a magazine, or a woman model who's scantily clad, or she's in underwear or in a little dress or something, that's disgusting. Either the people creating this scenario are objectifying her, or she's somehow a disgrace to herself because of the way that she's behaving, the way that she's putting herself across. Because she's sexy? If I want to go out clubbing and I want to wear a small skirt because I like my legs, I'm gonna go out clubbing in my small skirt because I like my legs. I feel like people are under the impression that if a woman is dressing with skin on show, or she's dressing to look conventionally sexy or attractive, that is for the male gaze and for the male gaze only. That's so wrong. That is a huge misconception. When I'm dressing up to look sexy or showy or whatever, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it because I feel good sometimes when I wear my little skirt or when I wear my corsets or something. I'm doing it because they make me feel good, because I look at me in a mirror and go, damn, those are the reasons why I do that. Those are the reasons why a lot of women do that, because they feel good. It makes them feel confident. It's the same reason why I wear Lolita. Sometimes I go out in Lolita. It's not for a man's attention. It's not because I want somebody to ogle me. It might have that effect. People might ogle me, but that is a byproduct. That's not the aim. I will go out in Lolita because I'm like, damn, I look good. I feel good in this. And I feel like it's a massive step backwards for pioneers for women's rights to assume that something that is sexy is invented entirely for the male gaze. It's just not true. Aren't we teaching women to be ashamed of their bodies again, but the other way around? I mean, what is this with these people saying you should be ashamed of yourself for being sexy, or you should be ashamed of these people making these games because their characters are sexy, and that doesn't represent everyone. Okay, but it does represent some people, so why are you just taking it out altogether? I have a lot of male friends and they have to watch everything they say, and I've seen some stuff happen and I'm like, dude, what is your problem? Please stop hating on men. Everything in the world is not men's fault, and though women all over the world may have been repressed by patriarchal laws and patriarchal society for many years, and though that may still be happening now in a lot of places and in a lot of ways, that does not mean that every single man on the planet is a dog. To me, it's a little bit like this triggered thing as well, when it's all over social media, or when people say, oh, don't do that, that triggers me, or don't say that, that triggers me. Half the time, I don't think these people know what they're talking about. Do you understand what that means? It's just like when people say, oh, that makes my OCD go crazy, or I'm so OCD about that, or even, I'm so depressed today. If you're saying the words, I'm so depressed, and today, then you're not depressed, because depression doesn't just last a day. You don't just randomly get depressed. You either have depression and are depressed, like, all the time, or you're sad. There is a difference. The triggering thing is the same. If you're a person who's got like PTSD or something, triggers or things in the environment, sights, smells, sounds, things that trigger a memory or a reflex or something in your subconscious that either puts you into some kind of defensive mode or brings back memories or experiences that is related to. That's what triggering is. So you can't just go to a movie and see something upsetting and go, oh my god, I feel triggered. That's not what that is. I feel like I got a little bit sidetracked on many things there. Now, these are my opinions, and I expect people to disagree with me and have conversations about it, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. It's supposedly a free network. I am a person who has experienced numerous abuses in my life, and a lot of them from men, and I refuse to say that all men are to blame for that. Some men are to blame for that, sure, but not all men. I'm also a person that through my experiences has things like PTSD, so I do understand triggers, and that's part of the reason why it annoys me when people say I'm so triggered, because you really don't understand the seriousness of what you're saying when you just randomly throw that about. Why can't we just be nice to each other? Why can't we just, you know, have a cause and fight for it and then join together and make the world great? I'm gonna stop waffling on about this right now. I'm sure I will have another rant at some time soon. It's probably made like no sense because I was all over the place, but maybe you get the gist of what I was saying. Please just be nice to each other, support each other, and when you're gonna do something, think about it before you do it. Think before you speak and think before you act, and just be nice. Just, you know, love each other, please. Anyway guys, that was my rant video. I hope you took something from it. Maybe it just made you angry. I don't know. I hope not. Hopefully we'll see you next time and we will discuss other things. Love.